Welcome to Title Talk, a podcast for real estate investors where we cover tips, tricks, and trends in the industry.
This podcast is all about providing valuable insights to help you maximize your investment opportunities.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, Title Talk is the place to stay in the know and get inspired.
So grab your headphones, tune in, and let's talk title. Hello, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Anybody wondering why Jamil looks different today?
I am Rahiba. I'm Jamil's sister. The first, the older sister, where it all started.
And we are so excited. We have a celebrity in the house today. We're actually in Jamil's house while he's in Italy.
Yeah, I get them to send me pictures of what he's eating.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's
Is
looking
it interesting?
good. It's all looking good. I'm like, oh, I want that. I want that. Show me the menu. Can you get this for me and tell me how it tastes? He's like, oh my God, why do I send you things?
Well, I hope he's sending you back some goodies.
No, I hope so. I hope so.
Okay, so some people that are watching may not know all about Rahima B. What should they know?
Let me give them a 2-minute rundown. I am a partner at Keegley. So Jamil, myself, Josiah Hunter, we're all the founders of Keegley. I run all the flips. So I'm the project manager. I take care of the investor side, project management. So for Keegley and also for their investors. And then whoever needs some help, they can hit me up and I send them, sometimes it's just good vibes that they need. Sometimes they need advice. Sometimes they need a Tyler. I'll send it over. That's where we are there.
She's also the most stylish one on the team.
Yeah.
By far.
No, Hunter's a very close second.
But your shoes are pretty fabulous today.
Wow, look at you. How do we show the audience what our shoes look like?
Oh, we take them off.
We take them off.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do that.
We're doing...
Here we go.
Pretty fabulous.
Yeah.
I think Jamil's a little nervous right now. We might be talking more fashion than title.
Oh, yeah.
But it'll be all good.
Jamil, buy some shoes.
Buy some shoes for...
Yeah. I'm an 8.5, honey.
Yeah, me too. We're the same size.
There we go. Oh, I love that. Okay.
Yeah, so you guys are in for something super unique today. We are blessed to have Rahima with us in the house today, and we're excited to share with you all things title related that she may face on her side of the transaction as the person that's responsible for actually doing the construction and doing the flipping and listing the houses, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So tons of value to bring there. And we are also going to bring on my friend Mary Slakey, who is from Fidelity Home Warranty and an absolute rock star in the industry, a good friend, and absolutely the greatest person. And I think this topic is one of those things that many of you guys who are watching in the Astro community and some of the other, wholesaling communities where this is streamed have maybe never been exposed to the benefits of home warranty and why you may want to leverage it. So I think we should maybe bring on Mary. And in the meantime, you guys can send some love, share this.
Yeah.
Tell your
absolutely.
Friends to tune in.
For sure. Tune in, guys. What's going on?
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Rashida. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm ready.
Yay.
Okay. I love it.
Yay. Well, it's 15 degrees today in Arizona.
Yeah. Where are you, Mary? Are you in Arizona?
I am. I'm in Scottsdale.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So for those of you guys that are watching, we want to know where you're coming from. So drop in where you're at in the comments. Hi, Jordan. Excited to get into this super fun conversation. So Mary, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you?
I would love to. So Dina, I've been in home warranty. I don't really like to say how long. Let's just say a really long time.
A while.
I have. And I've been lucky enough to work in a lot of states. I'm based in Arizona and currently I just sell in Arizona, but I've worked up and down the coast of the West Coast, started my career in California a long time ago. And I'm blessed to be with Fidelity, but I have worked for a couple of other warranty companies. So really, when I talk to people about this, I can speak on behalf of the industry and not just the fabulous Fidelity. But, a lot of the things from home warranty companies are the same from company to company. It's an industry very consistent within our procedures and our products. And sure, there are some nuances, but talking to the investor client, really, I can speak for the industry. So, that's my background.
I love it. So what do you love about the business?
I'm a problem solver. I get to help people. We get to save people money. And, the slogan years ago when I started was the solution for home repairs. And I think today in Arizona particularly, you both know this, so many of our investors are coming from somewhere else. And if they come from an East Coast state, they may say, what's a home warranty? They come from Texas or Nevada or California, they know what a home warranty is. But I talk to a lot of buyers coming from other parts of the country, and it's just not as common a product. So that gives us a chance to talk about the benefits, to educate, to really speak to how it's risk reduction. So, depending on who the audience is, it can feel good for the agent, can feel good for the consumer, it can feel good on a brokerage side. But to your audience, I really want to share how it may be something that, to your point, if they hadn't considered before, they can sort of keep in their back pocket for the times that it's going to work for that particular investment. So, I'm still after, 36 years, pretty excited about what it is that we offer and what it is that I do.
You're still a baby in the biz.
Okay.
All right, Rahima, I want to know from you too,
Mary,
though.
let me ask you a question. So let's just say, for example, I'm about to list house ABC. Okay. ABC is in Arizona. It doesn't have a new HVAC. I serviced the HVAC. I didn't replace all the underground plumbing. But I did all the cosmetic stuff. Just to say, I looked at the panel. I repaired whatever I had to repair for the Binzer. When the buyer asks me for a home warranty, I am the first one to say, yep, seller will pay for it. Because I see the value in, I didn't change that HVAC out. Now, and they feel like, okay, well, yeah, the HVAC is work. So when you're selling a house, if the HVAC is working, you don't have to buy them a new one, as long as it's working when you sell them the house.
Correct.
4 days later, that HVAC is 20 years old. It stops working. Now it's the buyer's problem, right? So I love when a buyer asks me for in fact, sometimes when the market was bananas and they said, no home warranty, no. And I said, you know what? Go back to your buyer and say, well, the seller will buy a home warranty. And we're good.
And that's a good point, because for agents and for brokerages, it's risk reduction. And to take it one step further, E&O applications ask every broker what percent of your transactions have home warranties. And for my first company, we sold E&O. So I was a licensed P&C agent, both in California and here in Arizona. And that's on every E&O application. They ask if you use a standard contract. They ask if you've had a home inspection. They ask about condition of property. In most states, there's a requirement for seller disclosure, but that's not true everywhere. And they ask about home warranty. And the idea is we offset cost. Those other things offset liability. And the big D in risk management is defer. So when the liability ends up on somebody else, in cases it's good for the brokerage, but it's also good for a seller. So to your point, what I try to point out to people is HVAC certainly is the biggest ticket item, but there are so many other things that may need minor repairs here and there. But when people understand what the coverage is, what the cost is for a year, it's really not a lot to spend. Let's call it $700. That's before.
Let's say $850 with the pool. That's
okay.
what we want to sell. $850 with the pool.
That's exactly the number. That's not a lot to spend, considering unless you buy cruise ships and a lot of Jaguars or Rolls Royces or airplanes, what's the biggest investment everybody has? It's their home, or for an investor, all the properties they own. So you're protecting your investment. And that's the point that we try to make.
Oh, absolutely. And sometimes my client will ask me, hey, they did an addendum where they asked for home warranty and you're asking me to sign it. So did the agent come back after the fact? And I say, no, I told the agent to give me an addendum with the home warranty. And they say, why? And I said, trust me, it's the best way to handle this. You didn't replace everything on this house, and there's a pool and there's an HVAC and things go wrong. So just protect the buyer. Let the buyer be protected. So I would, when I've never been asked what the percentage of my transactions are, Thankfully, I've never had an E&O experience, but I would say 100% of my transactions involve a home warranty. And I always represent the seller.
And likely the company that you're using provides you information so you know when claims are being paid. That's something that our industry does very consistently. Everybody does it differently, but we email an agent when a warranty they've ordered has a claim. We let them know.
I didn't know that either.
Okay,
You
well,
never had
then
an
here's
email.
a little tip for your back pocket. It's a chance for an agent to reach out to their consumer and say, hey, I see you've been in the property 5 weeks, I see you got your water heater changed out. How did that go? It opens up a dialogue for other things, but every agent, they tell me this, they're afraid right after close of escrow to make that phone call. We give you a warm reason to follow up because now you have something to say. Yeah.
Does that mean I've never had a claim against any of my houses? Because I've never had that email.
Or maybe you're not using Fidelity Home Warranty and you just don't know it.
I'm definitely starting to use Fidelity Home Warranty. Okay. All right. You sold me.
Well, the buyer ultimately picks which warranty. You just pick the amount of money that they are spending, right? So that's amazing. Is that industry standard, Mary?
Dina, I'm going to speak on behalf of the major players. It is. And it's really an important tool for the agents. And here's what the other thing I say. That's proof that our product has value. I don't care whether it's the water heater or 2 faucets in the bathroom or a large, to your point, HVAC repair. We're showing value, and it reinforces that in a lot of cases, again, you both said this, if the seller's paying and the buyer is saving money, yes, there's a copay. Most companies are now around $85. But if you spend $85 and we've given you a new pool pump or even 2 new faucets or a new water heater, in most cases, people have saved about the cost of the warranty. And again, the seller paid for it for them. So that's where people really feel like, and it also makes them feel good about agents. Okay, my agent's really looking out for me. And that feels good to everybody.
Yep.
So I'd love to know from everybody that's watching this right now, how many of you guys have heard about the benefits of home warranty for investors?
Come on, guys.
Drop a
us a
HW
line, yeah.
if you have. And drop a, I don't know, what do you think?
Give them a question
A heat
mark if they
symbol, a
don't.
heat symbol if you haven't, because it's hot here in Arizona.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I 100% see the value of a home warranty. I would never want to sell a house without it. And even when, like I said, the market was bananas and people were like waiving inspection. And I said to them, no, I get it. You're waiving inspection. Go get an inspection done. You're still making a $700,000 purchase. They said, okay, but we're not going to ask for repairs. Just show me the repair list. Oh, it's something tiny. Oh no, this is huge. There's an underground plumbing issue.
Well, you want to know because you care about the work that you're doing.
It's not just that. An uneducated buyer is going to come back and sue you. Even if they waived inspection and they waived their right to have any repairs done, I would rather just know and just fix it and give them a good experience and be like, hey, the next time you want to buy a house, look for one of my blue kitchens. It'll be, we'll do it right. We'll do right by you because it just makes sense. It's good karma.
It's the right thing to do.
And it's the right thing to do. And it's good business sense because you want to be recognized like I'm recognized by my houses. People will drive up my house and be like, oh, Rahima did this house for sure. Because it's wild and crazy, but I want them to keep looking for my houses. And the only way I can make sure that they're always wanting to buy my product is because I stand behind it.
That's the same thing Frank Lloyd Wright did.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. Did he do Wild and Crazy? Yeah, he's totally wild. I saw an opera about him a little while ago and I went, whoa, this guy was nuts. Like bananas.
Sometimes the most brilliant people are.
Yeah. That's like Jamil, right? He's brilliant and he's bananas.
So we've got a comment in here about, is this really Rahima? Is that really Jamil's sister? She's so calm. Yes, this is really Jamil's sister, everybody that's watching.
Yep. So, and I love the idea of an investor who's doing a buy and hold, buying a warranty. That's a fantastic idea because you're going to get a renter and the renter's going to say, oh, my HVAC went out.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as the renter knows that you're doing the best you can to get their HVAC resolved, to say, okay, look, I have a home warranty. Thank you for letting me know. I'm calling the home warranty people now. Do you mind if I give them your phone number so that they can arrange a time to come and and assess the situation. And now the tenant feels like, okay, my landlord's doing right by me. They're getting it fixed, instead of, okay, I'll send someone, and then you're scrambling around. It's the cost of, it's nothing.
It's convenience too,
Yeah.
because
And-
they have like a one-stop shop, and then they're not going to feel like they're losing, right?
Right.
They have an answer. They feel calm. I remember back in the day when I was on the agent side of the business, I used seller coverage on every single one of my listings, because if it's the summer in Arizona and your HVAC goes out and it's a short sale, the seller doesn't have to screw around with that, because most of the time they couldn't in that era.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
So it's still covered. It's still fixed. It's not going to make the listing something that we have to pull off the market because we can't pay for the repairs.
No, I get it. Absolutely. Home warranty is a no-brainer. As far as I'm concerned, it's a no-brainer. Even when they don't ask, I insist. Hey, we're going to buy you a home warranty.
Well, that's also a really good best practice, because when you do it every time, if you were in an instance where, your buyer waived it and then they came back later and said, oh, you didn't offer it to me. You've done that every time where you have to explain yourself to somebody. That's a best practice of yours. And that's the other thing E&O companies really look for, is consistent behavior by agents. I always do this. I always have the spuds filled out. I always do this. Those best practices end up really helping you out. I want to bring up one point about a tenant-occupied property. It's the only time that it gets a little bit tricky, and here's why. The Tenant Landlord Act says certain things, no heat, no air, a water problem, need to be dealt with immediately. And while our product is great for saving money, at times it becomes a little bit challenging, because the Tenant Landlord Act is between the tenant and the landlord, and it doesn't apply to us. And in all the years I've been doing this, I've had this discussion with our companies. We always want to do the best, but sometimes we can't get somebody out in a timely manner. And so I will tell an owner, in this case, if you want to step outside the contract, get it fixed. Let's look at it later. But you, Dina, you said it yourself today, very hot. We've got a record going for days and nights that don't drop below 92, days that have been over 110. We're on a record hot streak. And if our tech can't get out there for 3 days, the tenant's not going to be okay with that. So there are exceptions. We do sometimes let people get their own vendor. Every investor, every property manager knows somebody that can go sooner. So as long as, they're willing to communicate with us, as long as it's something covered and it isn't that they didn't maintain it, or, there's no filter in the AC, as long as it's a normal failure, we do work with companies. But I do like to be very transparent and point out that owner-occupied properties, this works well for. Sometimes with a tenant, and I talk to a lot of property managers, and I just walk them through that. So as long as people are aware, and that isn't just a Fidelity issue, that's really an industry issue. We could have 100 HVAC techs in the summer. It wouldn't be enough. We don't have 100, we have a lot, but that's just one of the challenges of Arizona. But, we're a stand-up company. Fidelity's a Fortune 500 company. We're not going to let somebody be in a bad situation, but that's the one thing that can be challenging. About a week ago, we were booking appointments the next day. Right now, we're booking 3 days out. Some people are okay with that. For the house that's 6,000 square feet that has 5 air conditioners, the guy said, Mary, the AC's out in our game room. We can't go to the game room. And I said, well, as long as the bedrooms are cool, we're going to get somebody out there. I will say he didn't understand, but most people really do.
For reals?
Oh yeah, for real. But we've even put people in hotels. We have methods of keeping people whole and keeping the process running. And even though it's really not my role, I get involved in those. I only use that story not to point out that that gentleman was frustrated. But when I was done, he goes, "Here's what I said: we have people that have an 1,100 square foot house, 1 AC. They're really hot. I know that you can't use your game room, but it's going to be okay." He did laugh at the end of the conversation, but what can I say?
Well, apparently they play a lot of games in that household.
Yeah.
Maybe they do that for, professionally. You never know.
You never know.
You never know what people's
Exactly.
motivation is and what they're doing behind closed doors, right?
Sure. I was very appropriate, but at the end I did have to let him know that nobody would be there in the next 2 hours to fix that 6 AC in the house.
Wow. Okay. That's amazing.
That is amazing.
Okay. Yeah, no, I love, thank you for being transparent. You're right. You're not always able to get out there right away. When I first moved to Arizona, I was a renter, and it was very, 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 very hot summer. We're from Canada, so our blood is still very thick. So we felt every degree of that, and our AC went out, and our landlord said, I have a warranty. It didn't take 3 days. It took a day and a half. We went graciously to the Omni for the night, came back, and they fixed it. So we were happy.
You know what? 98% of the time it goes really well. There's going to be some hiccups. There are hiccups in transactions, in loans. But at the end of the day, Fidelity is a stand-up company and we do things right. And that's why we're one of the leaders in Arizona and in the states that we're in. We're really going to take care of people.
I love that.
So Mary, I am curious, for all the investors like watching right now, and sharing the love on social and sharing this with their friends, what is a really good circumstance when somebody should or shouldn't consider a home warranty if they're an investor?
Good question, Dina. I think for the owner that is going to hold the property or put a tenant in there, because I already explained that scenario, I think a home warranty is absolutely a great way to offset their costs because their goal is profitability and they want to have cash flow. The only time it doesn't necessarily make sense, and this is up to each individual investor to see if it fits their model, if somebody's going to turn that property around very quickly and they want us to be able to respond immediately, a dishwasher, a garbage disposal, a panel, those things can be fixed in a few days. But sometimes I've had people say that bought a property and thought that everything was same day. That's one of the reasons I'm transparent, is not everything can be fixed the same day, but that's the same with retail. If the tech comes out from the appliance repair company to look at the dishwasher and it's a Bosch, he doesn't have a motor for a Bosch dishwasher on his truck. He's going to come back the next day. It's no different in home warranty than it is in retail, but sometimes people have a lot of angst about that. So when I talk to people that tell me my buyer's an investor, again, I'm very transparent. I say, here are the advantages. You're going to pay $85 and we're going to pay for that motor, which is probably $400 with installation. But when people think a garbage disposal is an emergency, or some of the things that are important but not urgent, if you have 3 toilets and they're all backed up, that's an emergency. So we're reasonable, but I try to walk people through, and I ask ladies a lot of questions to try to get to what their goal is. So for somebody that's going to turn it around, I had somebody that called me, it was May, and they wanted to turn around in 30 days. They knew that there were some things wrong. They'd been led to believe that everything they knew was wrong could be fixed if they got a home warranty. And I do have to be direct and say, if the seller disclosed it or the home inspector disclosed it, then those things didn't work. You can't buy the warranty and have us fix or replace those items. So I'm always very direct with people. I had a guy say, you just talked yourself out of a sale. And I said, I'm not trying to sell anything. I want to inform you about the advantages. But if it's not going to work for somebody, I let them know that it may not be in their best interest. So Dina, as you and I talked about, there's a time for it, there's a place for it, and it's a win in most situations. But that person that tells me I'm painting cosmetic work, bam, I'm done in 30 days, there's no reason for them to have a 1-year plan for 30 days if they're going to sell it, cancel. It just doesn't make sense. Their need is a little more urgent. So that's the scenario where I might say, this doesn't really fit the model of your business.
So I think a lot of investors, sometimes they get into a deal and they don't know their end game necessarily, right? So they may get into something and think, I might hold on to this for a little bit and then kind of see what the market bears, or, they may decide to JV with somebody and do something different with it. I mean, at any point, can somebody purchase a home warranty, or does it have to be done at the initial closing?
That's an important question because we get asked that a lot. Think about the market last year where when you said no inspection, no home warranty, quick close, cash, you remember what was happening? There was a lot of people that did close without a warranty. So the answer, Dina, is yes. They can get a warranty at the real estate rate at any time. The only difference is when it's purchased at the point of closing, it starts at the point of closing. If somebody comes to me and they say, I bought in May, we can sell them the warranty at the real estate price, but they do have a delayed start. And then I have to let them know everything has to be in good working order. And this is also an industry standard. There's a 30-day wait. And we have to say everything has to be in working order because, again, setting a fair expectation, people end up much happier with our product and our service rather than, I don't tell people what they want to hear. I tell them the truth. And that's really always been my motto, but it works well to set a good expectation right up front.
Well, that's like if you're having a fraudster. We've talked a lot about on this title talk about fraud, right? And it's rampant and all the different ways that people are trying to buck the system and do something that's not nice. So in that 30-day period, what it's exactly doing is protecting you from somebody that's just trying to purchase one after the fact when they know there's a material defect in the property, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So as an investor, if I bought this and I was going to flip it, it never even occurred to me to buy a home warranty if I'm going to do work in the house. That doesn't make any sense to me. But now I've changed my mind.
Yep.
And I'm going to keep this as a rental. Then I call you up and say, okay, go ahead and sell me a warranty. I'm going to rent it. Yeah, no, I'm going to give you the serial and model numbers that yes, all of these appliances were changed out. Yes, the HVAC was serviced. Yes, everything's in good working order. And then I put a tenant in there.
And that property is a perfect candidate for a warranty because our whole goal as a business is to cover unforeseen breakdowns. Appliances and systems have a mind of their own. Here's the other scenario. This family, husband and a wife and 3 kids, refrigerator door gets open and shut 20 times a day, toilets constantly flushing, faucets running. Think about how a family of 5 uses a house. A 50-year-old single guy who commutes, comes into town, 4 times a month, uses it for a business place. He's not using it that much. Just the difference or the reverse, the guy sells it to the family of 5. Things break because that's just the reality. It's like your car, things break. That's the great example of how a home warranty is going to save somebody money is one day it worked great. And guess what? The next day it just doesn't work. And that's life. So it really is to cover the unexpected.
And people are home more now. Right? A lot of
Way
people
more.
work out of their house. So
There was a thing called COVID, and
Right,
a lot of people have gone back since then,
and so now their houses are being used as business centers, right? Or we'll have a meeting here or I'll Zoom from here. So the house never escapes the people. It's always full.
Yes.
Speaking about escapes, one of the things that's really fun that we talk about on here is ghost stories. Title ghost stories. So we've been interviewing escrow officers across the country and asking them about ghost stories. The last one we talked about literally a buried body in cement in a backyard. Yes, we did. But I'm curious, Mary, is there anything that keeps you up at night knowing that there was a home warranty in place? Where you guys maybe saved the day or there was something kooky and creepy?
I can't think, Dina, of one kooky and crazy thing. We have a lot of stories of a unique request because we cover garbage disposals. And this was funny. A lady called our director of service and said, I'm really disappointed. My garbage has been on the curb for days and Fidelity hasn't come pick it up. And Faye said, well, we cover the appliance under the sink, the garbage disposal. And she said, well, I certainly think you should come dispose of my garbage. And I just thought, considering that we explain it as a system and appliance warranty, she literally left her garbage on the curb and then called Fidelity to come pick it up. And, I love the literal interpretation of garbage disposal. So Faye did email all of us and say, well, here's a different interpretation of garbage disposal. I could write a book on 36 years of unique requests and interesting situations, but I'm really into this ghost thing. That's fascinating.
I bet you've got some ghost stories, Rahima.
I have one.
You do?
It was Chandler. It was a friend of Jamil. They asked me to please help them with a flip. They had bought the property and they were kind of like, we don't know what to do. So I said, okay. So we're kind of doing it in the evenings. And my tile guy calls me up. He's like, I can't work here. I said, what's going on? He goes, I've been here 2 days, 2 nights now, 2 evenings. And at 7 p.m., all the windows start opening and closing, and all the doors start opening and closing for 2 nights at 7 p.m. I'm like, come on.
Was this like Alexa
Yeah, I'm like,
inspired?
this is before Alexa. There's no Alexa here. So there's no AI in charge of this. And I said, come on, you're just doing that's malarkey.
Yeah.
So I drive all the way out to Chandler
At 7 p.m.
at 6:45, so I could see this happening at 7. And lo and behold, at 7 p.m., all the doors start opening and shutting, slamming shut, all the windows start opening. And I'm like, what the is going on? It was
What
a
the
ghost.
Fendi?
What the Fendi is going on? And I said, okay, yep, there's a ghost. And so we had to call someone and they saged it. And then we found out that the occupant of that property was under the influence and had driven a car and killed the neighbor's son. And that's what had happened. And so it took about 30 days of constant sage, constant prayer in that house. And then it was cleaned of the spirit.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a literal ghost.
That was a real ghost.
I like just got goosebumps.
Mhm. It was
That would freak me out just because I do believe that there's energy like that around, but to be there to witness it. Ooh.
And I have one more. Jamil and I bought a building right when we moved here. It was on right by the Capitol building. It was from 1890. It was built.
So downtown Phoenix, 10
Downtown
years
Phoenix.
ago.
10 years ago. It was built in 1890. It was one of our first purchases. And it was built like a hotel, right? So it used to house like visiting politicians that were coming to the Capitol. It was right next to the Capitol. It was beautiful apartment building. It was converted to apartments. And there was a young lady who had passed away. She had fallen from the top floor to the bottom. And then once a month, that whole area would smell like roses.
What?
Yeah. It was crazy.
Well, I wish that my house smelled like roses every day, all day. I love fresh flowers.
You are a flower. Look at you.
I am a flower
She's
today.
beautiful. She's such a beautiful girl.
As are you, my friend.
I love it. We should go dancing.
Yeah. What kind of dancing?
Well, what do you want to do?
Country's my favorite.
Oh, yeah? I grew up in
Mhm.
Calgary. I can line dance with the
Yeah.
best of them.
Stampede is on my bucket.
Are you going?
I would love to.
Next year. It's going on right now.
It's going on right now. My friend Danny Hickey's over there. He's an investor that's probably not watching the show this week because he's getting his country on.
Yeah. So Calgary, 10 days in July, it's like crazy. You wake up in the morning and the first thing you drink is a screwdriver.
The whole town shuts down like it's on vacation.
The whole town is on vacation and they're all drunk.
For 10 days.
Yep. And we'll like break out line dancing in like downtown Calgary.
So has anybody been to Stampede? Give us a giddy up in the comments if you have.
So somebody asked, so did you guys dispose of the garbage?
No.
Jordan, that was a good question.
That's a really good question. Did you tell them to contact their utility company and set up service?
This poor girl. She's like, no, I don't need your service. Keep it. Fidelity's going to take care of me.
They just let her know that, the garbage disposal meant the one under the sink and did suggest if you're in city limits, probably the city does have trash removal. But, I'm sorry, that's years later. I still laugh about that because this lady was very serious.
That is priceless. I mean, Fidelity doesn't own a lot of companies, home warranty being one of them. So it doesn't completely surprise me, but it still kind of shocks me.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's actually really funny. I'm going to tell that story.
What's another weird one? Like a weird request over your tenure married, like something that's just bizarre that sticks in your memory.
Yesterday, I got an email, but some people are lovely. They had an energy audit done.
Her
No,
attitude
truly.
is so
I
good.
love how
I'm an optimist.
some people are lovely.
A homeowner emailed me yesterday and said they had an energy audit done and they were told they needed all new insulation and could we come out and redo all the insulation? And I explained that that's not a failure and we cover the ductwork and the actual HVAC, but that insulation isn't a system or an appliance. And here's why I'm positive, Dina. He wrote me back the loveliest email and said, my wife said I should ask. That totally makes sense. I just thought it was worth a request. And I tell people, if you're not sure, call us, email us, go online, check your contract. Better that they ask us and find out up front, then go buy a new air conditioner and then let us know. It doesn't work in reverse. But, in that case, I thought that was, nobody had ever asked me that before. And I shared that with Callie this morning that, somebody asked about insulation. I am glad when people take the time to ask some questions and get educated. I'd rather talk to an investor, a buyer, a seller up front and set these expectations, because I can guarantee you people have a much better experience when they know what's coming, instead of just, I got a home warranty because somebody told me to, and I don't know what it does. And, sometimes people are surprised there's a copay, and I explain it's like going to the doctor. It offsets some of the costs. So here's how that works. And I walk people through a scenario so that they understand, here's what we do. Here are the limitations, if there are any. And I walk them through that. And I do have a lot of stories. God, I now I need a ghost story. I don't have one.
We're good. We got a comment here too. Not only does Rahima do flips, but she vacants ghosts, haunting the houses.
Multi-talented.
Multi-talented.
I'm a Ghostbuster for sure.
Ghostbuster. And she's wearing blue today.
Is that the Ghostbuster
That's
color?
the Ghostbuster color.
Is it?
I think it is.
Okay.
I mean, Slimer was green, like, the slime stuff.
Right.
I think they were blue.
Okay, cool.
Were Ghostbusters blue, guys? I think they were.
I think you're right.
Doesn't she look so Madonna-esque today?
The pearls.
She's talking about my shoes.
Wait, she's got these gorgeous shoes and then these lace socks on. Like, you look like I want to just take you dancing. Yeah.
Where should we go dancing?
Where should we go? You pick a place. I'm there. I'm in.
Come on up to Handlebar J's.
These shoes weren't made for that kind of dancing, but I do have cowboy boots in my trunk.
You really are country, huh? I love it.
Yes,
Okay.
I am. Yes, I am.
Beautiful.
All right, let's talk about relationships, Mary. Since you are such a relationship person and you have clients that are very loyal to you, that have been with you from day one, and I hear nothing but just amazing things about their experience with you. What turns you on when it comes to somebody trying to form a relationship with you on the business side?
I appreciate transparency in other people. And I think it's because even if it's not what somebody wants to hear, I'm always direct and honest. It's just the way to go. And I'm always a little bit surprised or dismayed when somebody, you can't start a relationship off on a foot, on a non-communicative, non-trusting, you just have to be upfront is the better way to say it. So I really appreciate it when a realtor says, here's what I expect, here's what I want. And Dina, this is hard for me, but sometimes it doesn't happen often. Somebody's expectations aren't what we can deliver or I can deliver. It's hard to pass up business, but I want to bring Fidelity good business, and I want to do business with good people. I literally think once this year I had a client say, are you firing me? And I was, but only because his expectations were out of line. And that's a hard thing to do. But I realized that, in all fairness to him, in all fairness to Fidelity, he was asking for a lot of favors. Back to Rahita's point, if we're selling an $800 warranty, he wanted a $6,000 favor. And I don't have $6,000 in the coffers if we took in, rather $8,000, if we took in $600. So it's a tough position to be in, but relationship wise, I want there to be mutual trust and respect. And just the way I respect that sometimes realtors have to have tough conversations with a seller or a buyer. Those conversations are not my favorite, but you just really want to be on the same plane with somebody as far as the expectations go. So I'll bend over backwards for somebody, and I do it all the time, but I want there to be a set of realistic expectations, in some case boundaries, because when people say, oh, okay, here's a great story. This was last year at some point towards the end of COVID. This lady had called me. My realtor told me to call you. Honey, I love Fidelity. I got a new garage door opener. She was thrilled, loved the tech. Cactus door was super complimentary. And she goes, my realtor told me to call you because I need the door replaced. And I said, well, we do cover the opener, which is a system. We don't cover the door. And she said, well, honey, I need a new door. And I said, well, we cover the opener. You have a new opener. We don't cover the door. That's part of the structure. And she said, well, what kind of company are you? And I said, well, the contract does say that we cover the opener, and I'm glad that you're happy with Cactus Door, and I'm glad you got a new opener, but we don't cover the door. Will I need a new door? And you guys, I'm very seldom speechless, but I'm like, okay, I don't know what to say next, because I had already explained that we didn't cover the door. And she just said, well, I really like Cactus Door, but I just think Fidelity's terrible that you don't provide me the new garage door. And I said, well, I appreciate your feedback, and I'm glad that you got a new, door opener. At that point, I had to end the conversation because I'm very seldom at a loss for words, but what else do you say to somebody that loves your vendor and loves your company, but then suddenly, because they need a new door and you don't cover it, she didn't like us anymore. So I'm going back to expectations. Contract says new opener. She got it. We saved her like $800, but she wanted a door. So I can't make that person happy. And she basically said, well, I don't care if you sell a contract. And she did call me honey about 10 times. She must have thought I was like 30. She's like, honey, I need a door. So I can refer you back to Cactus Door. They not only do openers, but they do doors. I ended that conversation after maybe 7 or 8 minutes, somewhat on a not happy note, but yet she loved our vendor and she loved what we did. But at the end of the day, she wanted a door. So she thinks we're terrible because we didn't give her a new door. So, weird things like that happen sometimes. But then she renewed.
Communication, like that's the biggest thing we've been hearing from every escrow officer we've talked to too. It's like, guys, whatever's happening with a deal when it blows up, don't ghost, right? Just be transparent, have positive communication, and that is the name of the game.
Well, and the ironic thing is when I checked on her later, she had renewed. So clearly, in spite of her frustration, she saw the value because she told me she paid for the warranty. And I did point out while I was trying to balance out the win-win that, she'd paid $625 for the warranty. The garage door opener was $800. You're ahead. I am, but I really need a new door, honey. You guys, she was determined to get me to say, we're going to give you a new door. That I have to smile because she renewed, so she clearly wasn't too unhappy.
So that's a good question too. How does renewal work? I mean, do you get the same price the next year? Does it renew for a couple years? What does all that look like?
So Dina, I don't handle renewals, but this is really an industry standard. The second year is more than the first, and here's why. Here I go again, very transparent. During the sale process, the seller's done some disclosure. There have been walkthroughs. There's usually been a home inspection. There's usually been another walkthrough. The bins there might have been some repairs. All of those things limit our liability. After 12 months go by, we have no idea if that person has changed the filters in their AC. We don't know what people are doing for maintenance. And so because we don't make a lot of money, the rate does go up in year 2. After that, unless they add coverage, it tends to stay at that same rate. Now, that's where it might be different from company to company, but I have worked for 3 of the largest home warranty companies in the United States. They do all go up, as do most, when it renews. There's a big company here that has their own home warranty company. They don't raise their rate, but they also do a lot of DNRs, which in our businesses do not renew. And that's simply if it's not within their guidelines, they don't renew it. And that could work very well, but that leaves people shopping and sort of frustrated. It is tough to say, but I have to remind people sometimes we are in the business to make money. And so we hold up our contract. If we say we're going to do it, we do it. If it's not a covered item like the garage door for, we'll call her Millie, we can't do that. But it is a win in most situations. And we do exactly what we say we're going to do. We save people money. So it does go up, Dina, at point of renewal.
And they can renew it indefinitely?
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
So you got a comment here from a handsome guy.
Oh, hi, Rocky. How are you? I'm so glad that you are having tons of success getting leads and opportunities from our expired listings, and I cannot wait to hear about your next deal.
Wonderful. So Rocky,
go Rocky.
Yeah, you want to message us? Is that how it works? I'm such an idiot. Message us.
By the way, Title Talk today is full transparency. If you haven't gotten that theme, it is rocking and rolling today.
Yeah, message us. Tell us what you're doing. Like, you're a virtual investor, so are you flipping the houses? Are you wholesaling them? What are you up to? I'd like to hear. But I'm gonna really hit this thing home, guys. When you're selling your flips, you talk to your agent, and it's not a win when they say we don't want a warranty. Insist on the warranty. It'll protect you. It'll protect your agent. It'll protect you as a seller. Just get the warranty. It's worth it. It's worth it.
Then they can't sue you, right?
I mean, really, you say, look, I disclosed everything I had on the property. I was transparent on my spuds, on my seller disclosures, but I don't know everything about this house because I never lived here.
Right.
We write that. Seller never occupied the house.
But you still do a spuds.
We do.
If it's
we say seller never occupied the house, but here's all the work that we did in our seller disclosures. Do I know if anything went wrong with it a year ago? No, because I just bought it 2 months ago.
And you could have bought it at auction. You could have bought it.
Generally, it's a wholesale deal. So I didn't get a spuds from the seller. I have no idea. I know what I know when I did my repairs. The pool pump is working, and so is the HVAC. But I can also tell you, I don't know how old they are. So please, here's a warranty. Take care of yourself. It's going to save you and your agent headaches.
So smart. Apparently, I got the Ghostbusters colors wrong.
Well, no, they're red, black, and white. Oh,
Well, then your shoes would still. You know what? She's still a Ghostbuster. Her shoes. Show the shoes again.
Oh yeah,
They go with that.
I have a shoe.
They
problem.
totally still work.
I have a small. I'm in therapy.
Those are some really beautiful shoes, if I do say so myself.
My therapist has got a shoe problem.
Yeah, I think that qualifies for all those colors.
Yeah. Well, we can make.
She's still a Ghostbuster.
I'm still a Ghostbuster. For sure. Because I'm not afraid of the ghosts. You just got to make the ghost your friend.
Is there anything that like scares you when it comes to a flip?
No.
No. What about like on a title report? Would there be something you would see that would like make you not want to buy the deal?
No.
Nothing.
No. I have a good title agency. They can clean up my title for me. I'm never worried. I never worry.
She is very calm. For any of you guys that were commenting on, is this really Jamil's sister?
Yeah. I handle all the shit. I didn't even say that. I handle all the poop. And when you handle enough poop, you're just like, yeah, just shove it over this way. I'll figure it out. You just figure it out.
You figure it out.
Yeah. I'm working on a deal right now for Jamil. He gets me to come out to Maryville. Maryville is the west end.
You go from Chandler to Maryville for him.
Yeah.
While he's in Italy.
Yes, west end side of Arizona. It's right across the street from a big private university, from Grand Canyon University.
Yep.
And he wants to, what does he say? Pad split it. Basically,
Oh,
you're going to convert this little 3-bedroom house, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house into a 6-bedroom, 6-bathroom house.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to reconfigure the whole insides and make it so that every bedroom and every bathroom is got its own. Its own.
Yeah, you're basically taking out all the common space.
No, there's still going to be a kitchen and there's still going to be a living room.
But smaller.
Slightly smaller, because I'm going to take the laundry outside. But I talked him into doing 6 individual mini splits, 6 individual HVAC units.
Oh.
So I'm definitely going to insist that he gets a home warranty.
Yeah.
I mean, even though they're all brand new systems, all the plumbing is brand new, all the underground plumbing is brand new. I'm basically new roof.
Yeah.
All of that, but I'm going to say, look, you're going to rent this out. You should go to home warranty.
Well, and there's also, for those of you guys that are watching that have never heard of Pad Split, please DM me or send me an email at titletalk@fnf.com, and I can connect you with the folks that are in charge of Pad Split. There's actually an Arizona meetup next week talking about the concept. What they're doing is they're putting tenants in place for workforce housing, essentially.
Yeah.
And they're minimizing the risk of the community engagement by taking out the space where people would normally commune and allowing them a lock and leave opportunity to be able to have all of their stuff and using the space differently, which is a really smart concept. And they're finding a ton of success.
Yep, absolutely. I think it's great.
Travel nurses, great opportunity. There's actually a travel nurse I met through our first episode of Title Talk that got relocated since then, but he's living in a Pad Split.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in Colorado.
Wow. Oh, and Jamil's only thinking about this for students. I didn't even think about it outside that box.
Absolutely.
But that would be great.
Yep, workforce housing. Anytime there's like a big company that's coming to, in Arizona, we've got a ton of big companies that are coming here, and being able to even have the company sometimes sponsor or purchase and renovate the property specifically for their employees because they're relocating them or they're trying to attract them.
Okay.
For investment purposes, I mean, the concept is very unique. You got to look for properties that are typically outside of HOAs because of parking situations and multiple cars and things like that. But it's definitely an investment strategy that's worth exploring.
Yeah, absolutely. HOA, that's my ghost. That's the one I'm afraid of. Yeah, that's the only thing sometimes where it makes me rethink a deal is an HOA, because I've seen the property and I'm like, oh, I could do this, this, and this. And then all of a sudden there's an HOA on top of me. And I'm like, I can't do any of that. So yeah, that's my ghost. That's my nemesis.
So you're currently in the middle of this rehab.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just started it Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to have it done before Jamil gets back.
Okay. Before he gets back from Italy or before he gets back from all the trips?
I want it done by the end of the month.
Okay.
Yeah, we like to move fast.
She doesn't mess around.
That's why we did so good on TV, because we got those houses done so quick.
And you're up for another season, I hear.
I mean, yeah, let's see how it goes. I like what I do. Don't get me wrong. I love my job. I love it. I don't even think of it as a job. I think of it as like what I do for the day.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's your play.
Fun.
It's
Yeah,
a different closet to play in.
Absolutely. But having a production team on top of you while you do, it's not as fun.
Yeah. While you're cleaning out the poop sometimes.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
There's always poop. It's always poop.
All right, Mary, any tips?
Yeah.
Any tips for investors out there that are just tuning into Title Talk today?
Absolutely. This can be true for anybody. I would just say get a copy of the contract from the warranty company you're considering and take a look at it. You don't have to read all of it, but I tell people read terms and conditions, read limitations of liability. And if that's all people look at, it is our job to interpret the contract and help walk people through it. And I was sharing with an agent group this morning, I spend more time these days talking to sellers and buyers than I do to realtors. But I think if we answer their questions, we're back to my favorite word today, transparency. But if I ask them to look at those exclusions, at least right up front, they see that, certain things are going to be your homeowners, certain things you might have no coverage for. This is home warranty. And by the way, homeowners insurance and home warranties work great together. One other scenario, say you have a plumbing issue when you're gone. And I know this because this happens a lot. Homeowners went on vacation, they came back, the dishwasher or the water heater broke when they were gone. It happens, you guys. They come back, not only is the system or appliance ruined, but sometimes walls, definitely floors, could be the ceiling if it was upstairs. The scenario is that secondary damage. So the floor, wall, or ceiling, carpeting, whatever, is secondary damage. We will take care of the water heater or the dishwasher or the plumbing break because, right, that's the system or the appliance. And then the homeowner's insurance steps in and takes care of the secondary damage. Those two things butt up beautifully in that we fix A, they fix B. Now you've offset more liability. Very often I say to people, okay, now call your homeowners. And they say, well, why would I call my homeowner's insurance? And I remind them, this is what we've done. Talk to your homeowner's insurance agent. I think that's obvious, but then I remind myself that because of my ancient age and because of my length of time doing this, the things that I think about, not everybody does, but that is really a win because I've had people call back and say, I didn't even realize that that was a possibility. So it saved them more money by using their homeowner's insurance for the failure or the damage that the failure caused.
I love that. I love that they work collaboratively instead of, pointing each other at each other.
Abundance.
And saying, you take care of that. You take care of that. Instead, they're saying, we'll take care of this. They'll take care of that. Or work together.
They both stay in their lane and they're like, let's just get it done.
That's the way to do it.
I love it. That's really good advice, Mary. So I have a title tip to talk about because it's kind of like a month new. And we talked about this a few weeks ago, but last night I was in a meeting with an investor who told me that he had a particular transaction that was worth $2.6 million where somebody sold a house out from under him without him knowing a couple of years ago. And if this policy was in place back then, he would have caught it. So something for you guys to know that's happening here in Maricopa County is they have something that's brand new that is a title alert. So basically, if you register, and this is a free service, guys, you register and we'll put the link in the chat. All of your properties, they will send you an alert every single time a new document is filed on that property. Okay. He gets, for all of his entities and all his LLCs, he gets 10, 20, sometimes a day of these alerts. It says, this memo was filed on this property. Here's your signature. Well, if this process was in place back then when he had a title claim for $2.6 million, which was totally from a fraudster, this would have never happened because he would have opened the email. He would have looked at the signature and said, this is not my signature. And it would have been not a problem. So this is a free service offered by Maricopa County. So for those of you folks here in Arizona, I would highly encourage you to register all your properties here, especially any of you guys that own vacant land, and get alerts for all your property documents.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, wow.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Big deal.
Oh my God, guys, if you didn't get anything else out of this conversation, you didn't care about our shoes, you don't care about anything else.
Ghostbusters, not your thing.
Not your thing.
Dancing.
Please listen to this title tip because that's huge. That's huge.
I think Bobby's dropping the comment. Oh no, Jamil's dropping the comment. I like it.
Jamil's awake.
Jamil's awake.
What?
It's not like 2 in the morning.
Oh, it's you. Yeah, it's the middle of the night. The middle of the night.
It's like he's
right
watching
now.
us and we're keeping him up at night.
Yeah.
Did you tell him you're eating his nuts?
Oh yeah, so Jamil, I sent him these nuts for Father's Day, and so I phoned him the day after Father's Day because I didn't get a thank you, nothing, like no. And I said, hey, did you get that basket that I sent you? And he's like, oh, you sent those? And I said, you're just eating a basket of nuts that you don't know where they came from? He goes, no, I had no idea. So I found the nuts, and now we're gonna eat them. This is the wasabi ones.
Dinner.
Yeah, there we go. Nice.
Yeah, I'll stick with something a little bit more mild.
Mm.
All right, Mary, our time is coming to an end, so we have to just do something really fun.
Okay. Before we go dancing.
Before we go dancing, what's the last thing you Googled? You gotta be fun too when you answer this.
Okay. I know exactly the last thing I Googled. I'll tell you.
So honestly, I Google addresses about 30 to 50 times a day because if an agent sends me an order and they don't answer my questions, I have to Google the property to either see who the list site is or read the property description. So I think I Googled 10442 North 91st Place to get the listing side for an order that I had to place.
So your Google is work.
Yeah, I Google
I
addresses.
love it.
Oh, but let me tell you, Dina, I Google everything. So yeah, I'm always Googling, like I read. So I Google book titles and authors, and I'm doing a lot of Googling for vacation spots. So, okay, here's my last fun Google.
Okay.
Best cities for girls trips.
What's your answers? We want to know. We want to come.
Well, the top 10, most of the places I've been, Charleston, South Carolina, Austin, Texas, New Orleans, Louisiana, Seattle, San Francisco, LA, Bar Harbor, Maine, New York City.
Arizona should be there.
Scottsdale, Arizona.
You know what's ironic? I was shocked that there on this list, which was from Travel and Leisure, there wasn't a Scottsdale city. One other brought up Sedona, but most of them, they're big towns you're familiar with. But I did a girls trip 3 years ago to Charleston, South Carolina, which is a great city. The year before we went to Austin. A lot of these are amazing cities. Greensboro, which is either in North or South Carolina. If anybody's from North or South Carolina, I apologize. I don't know which city, but these are a lot of great spaces. So I was trying to find out, okay, here's where we've been. Where should we be going? And unfortunately, almost every place on the list we'd already been, but there are lots of good lists. So that was my last fun Google is best cities for a girls trip.
Well, I can't believe Scottsdale's not on there because every time I'm on Olive and Ivy for like lunch on Friday, it is full of people that look like they are in town for bachelorette parties.
Do you see the bike right by? The booze.
Yeah, it's a booze cruise.
Yeah, but it's a bike. So all these poor girls are drinking and loving their bike.
And it's 110.
Huge bike. Yeah.
And that's asking a lot to drink and pedal and deal with the heat. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot going
They're
on.
always doing it.
They
They're
are.
loving it. Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
What about you?
I Googled the menu for Doughbird, which is a
Oh.
restaurant around the corner,
Yeah.
because I thought, kids, so my hair is wet still, because in the middle of the day, I was like, I have to get ready and come, because I was working since 4:00 this morning. I've been working in the sun. So I jumped in my pool. My kids jumped in with me. And I said, I got to go to Jamil's house and do this. And on the way back, I'll pick up dinner. So I Googled the menu of Doughbird and sent it to them. That's my last.
To ask them what they want
Yeah,
for
yeah.
dinner. You're a good mama.
A good mama would have cooked dinner. I'm a subpar mama because I'm going to bring dinner.
Well, mine is silly. It's about a beach house pool party, Barbie style, because I was planning a trip to go see the new Barbie movie with all my friends, where we all get to dress up like our favorite Barbie. My mom is going to be swimming, workout Barbie.
Okay.
And I got the date wrong. So as a backup plan, we're doing a Barbie swim party this weekend.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And we
sounds
just
fun.
postponed the movie premiere.
Okay. When's the movie premiere?
It comes out the 21st.
Yeah,
Oh,
next Friday.
okay.
Yeah. So mine is
Yeah,
Barbie.
this is the premiere, like the preview to the party,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah.
getting you in the mood for Barbie.
Exactly.
I like it.
So
Okay.
we'd already had a few people committed to the date, which, takes some effort. So now we're just going to have a Barbie pool party of our own.
Good. Have fun.
Thank you.
What are you going to serve at your Barbie pool party?
Not my department.
Oh,
I'm in charge of espresso martinis and champagne.
okay. Well, that's all Barbie eats, though, right? Barbie doesn't eat food. She just drinks. She's a little bit of a lush, but there's no food there. You want some salty nuts?
I'm like, actually, I like Jamil salty nuts. These are pretty good.
Jamil, we found your basket of salty nuts, and Dina and I are going to town on them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else you got there? Most memorable deal. I have all my deals are memorable. I remember every one of them. Every single one of my deals I remember.
Okay, what about something that might be totally basic and ordinary that most people do, but you have never?
Are you asking me, Dina?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You're going to laugh. I don't drink coffee, and I take a lot of heat about that from clients and my husband and my kids. I think coffee smells amazing and rich, but it is bitter as all get out. So I don't drink coffee. And people
You
really
never
give me
had
a hard.
coffee?
What?
You never had coffee?
I've had it, but it tastes terrible. And no amount of cream or sugar or vanilla, no matter what people tell me to put in there, it still tastes like coffee.
Doesn't
So,
drink coffee.
No, thank you.
So when you guys are reaching out to Mary, and by the way, how do they reach out to you and connect with you, Mary?
Well, I can't put it in the chat, but whoever is putting information in the chat, Dina, I'll give my cell and I'll give my email address. And if your producer can pop that in the chat, my email is mary.slakey, and my last name is S like Sam, LAKEY @fnf.com. And my direct phone number is 480-540-3955. And I hope I went slow enough for him to capture that.
He's got you. He's a freaking pro. Are you kidding me right now?
Okay.
Bob's is the best.
Yep, he's the
He's
best.
so good.
There's no doubt.
Yeah. So, when people are reaching out to you for meetings and they're excited, should they just put in the subject line, not asking for coffee?
They can put anything they want in the subject line. That's pretty funny. Can I tell you, I take people to coffee. They always just look at me funny when I order like a
Tea
at
or water?
Starbucks. Yes, something other than coffee, but I buy a lot of coffee. And Dina, as you know, there are 6 of us in Maricopa County. We have a rep down in Pinal County. So I am representative of just one small area. You, I'm blessed, chose me because I'm the oldest in the group and the most experienced. But there are a number of reps here in Maricopa County, and we are all available to help. But I'm happy to talk to anybody, discuss meetings or whatever with anybody that wants to reach out.
And I know you're really great at pointing people in the direction of who on your team can help them when it comes to their area. So I love that. Appreciate that very much. How about social media? Anywhere people should connect with you there?
I can't, well, I think on Instagram, I'm just
Instagram?
Mary Slakey. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm Mary
perfect.
Slakey on
Perfect.
Instagram. I'm not a TikTok person. I'm on LinkedIn. I tweet. I mostly tweet political craziness. I'm on Facebook, but just under my name. I pretty much do the more mainstream things. TikTok's not really my space.
I love it. Well, we're going to have to do the same thing for Rahima, since those of you that are just joining us are wondering why this beautiful lady is sitting next to me. So you're going to have to go back and watch the whole thing and find out the story. But in the meantime, they have to connect with you on IG
Sure.
on the right place.
Oh yeah. Okay. So do you know my IG? There, he's got it.
Yeah.
My email is rahima@keegley.com. Yeah, is that good? Okay.
Yeah.
Rahima@keegley.com is the best way to get me because I actually answer my email. I don't know any of my passwords on IG. I'm sorry. I should get better at that. Bobby, come work for me. Come handle that for me.
I think he has a full-time job.
Oh yeah, but he could manage a few hours for me.
Yeah.
Bobby wants the poop. Yeah. So this was fun.
This was super fun. If you guys loved this, please share this with your friends. We want to see how much traction, love, comments, and shares we can get, because when Jamil gets back from Italy, he's going to look at that and he's going to want to say, is my sister more loved than me?
No, that'll never happen. Everybody loves Jamil. But, I'd love to be second. So guys, help me out. At least give me second place out of the two of us. At least let me earn my second place. So, tell me something that nobody knows about you.
Oh boy.
Well, I mean, nobody past your husband knows. I'll tell you something about me, then you tell me something about you.
Okay.
I get my teeth cleaned every 3 weeks.
Whoa.
I love the dentist.
You love the dentist? I've never heard of anybody who loves a dentist.
I'm infatuated with my dentist. First of all, he's super good looking. He's very nice.
Eye candy.
And my hygienist
Does he wear
is
good
fantastic.
shoes?
He does wear good shoes. He's always well dressed. Has like a Jersey, New Yorkie accent, which is not typical of a dentist.
Yeah.
And my hygienist does phenomenal work. I'm in and out 20 minutes because I've been going for 3 weeks, every 3 weeks for the last 10 years. Look at these teeth.
Well, if you guys need dental advice on who to go to and you don't like the dentist,
This
Rahima
dentist
has
is fantastic.
the person for you.
Great teeth.
Yeah,
That's
a
every 3
lot.
weeks, I'm sitting there and getting my teeth cleaned.
Even when you're eating the nuts.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So tell me.
Okay, I've never changed a baby diaper. Change adult diapers. I've never changed a baby diaper. Fun fact.
Mary, tell us something nobody knows about you.
Does it count that I don't drink coffee?
No, you already gave us that one. Give us one more.
Okay. Something nobody knows.
Reach
about
in there.
me.
Reach into that bag of Mary, right into your gut. What don't we know about you?
I have a dream to write a book, and a lot of people say that, but I'm not wanting to write a book about home warranty or all the stories that come with it. I read a lot. That is
Okay.
my passion, and I would love to write a book.
Who are you reading right now?
Well, I just finished a very light read. Oh, and last month I wrote Unbroken by Laura Hillebrand, which is about a survivor of World War II, which broke me. I couldn't read for about 4 days after that. It was heavy but beautiful. And then I just read a light beach read last week on vacation. And right now, what's the guy's name? My husband's read all of his books. Lee, I can't even remember. He writes murder mysteries. It's sort of a James Patterson kind of thing. So
Okay.
never heard of the author. My husband's like, read this, because I'm still coming down off of that World War II book. So
I get it. It was very heavy.
it
yeah.
was beautiful, but it was difficult to read.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. All right. Cool.
I love it.
I feel like we know you a little bit more.
Yeah.
I love that comment that we should take you to an orphanage and have you change one baby.
Well, funny story. Like, charity is kind of my why, guys. So why I do what I do every day is actually to be able to be around amazing people to give back at a higher level. And that's one of the reasons I originally signed up to go work at Fidelity, was because I was like, this is bigger infrastructure. I can make bigger impact on the world, right? So I've done respite care. I've done all kinds of things for children, built houses and parks and all kinds of other things. But when it comes to the actual physical situation of changing the diaper, I just haven't been in that arena.
Okay. You want to change a diaper?
No, I kind of
there you
just.
go.
Oh yeah,
She
because
doesn't want to go to the orphanage.
I've
She
never
doesn't wanna
held a
change the diaper.
baby. That's probably where I should have started. I always just said I
Oh.
won't hold one until I have one, and I don't have any, and so I've just kind of held out.
Okay. Do you want to hold a baby?
I don't know.
No, let's go
I'm
dancing.
kind of too old for that.
No, let's just go dancing. We're going to go dancing. Forget the babies.
Yeah, dancing's
Mary,
more fun.
Good luck on your book. This is not the last you're going to hear of me because I'm
No.
going to buy all the Fidelity home warranties from now on.
Yeah, we need to put
Wow.
them in the Keegley office. We need to put all your brochures in the Keegley office.
And where's your office for you? Where are you in? Where's your office?
Tempe. In Tempe.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Gals, thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
having me.
This
I
was
hope there were
fun.
a few nuggets in there that people took away about
Absolutely.
what it is we do.
Guys,
Yeah.
remember, as investors, when you're selling your property, if it's a fix and flip, it's, you're getting rid of it, insist on that home warranty. It will save you a million headaches after the fact. Get the agent, buyer's agent, write up an addendum. Be the good guy, be the cowboy here. Offer the warranty, pay for the warranty. It is worth your while. Just get it done. It's good juju all the way around.
And consider the seller's coverage if you're taking an investment to the market.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, this has been a delight. Loved our Girls' Day.
Thank you. Thanks, Mary.
Thanks, guys. See you in 2 weeks.